All right, everybody. So I'm going to be talking about the Lewis structure of a molecule in this video. In the previous video, we introduced you to covalent bonding, which results of sharing of valence electrons, and covalent bonds tend to form between two or more nonmetals, where they share a pair of electrons between these two atoms or more. For example, in methane, you can have carbon joined to 4 hydrogen atoms by single covalent bonds, which is where only one pair of electrons is shared. Now, Lewis structures are a great way to show the arrangement of these electrons in a molecule. When you're doing a Lewis structure, you can actually show the pair of electrons that are being shared as a line who has two vertical dots. For example, in hydrogen, where you just do that, right? Right. But when you're doing a molecule, it might seem a bit more complicated, but it really isn't. The first step is that you need to know the number of valence electrons. So let me go ahead and give us the easiest example for now. H2O. They're all pretty easy, but this is easy because it is water. So water has 2 hydrogens to every 1 oxygen. So in this molecule, we have 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen. Okay? So I'm going to start with oxygen. Oxygen is going to be the main element since it's a little bit more to the left of the periodic table. So oxygen is going to be my main one. Here we go. I drew that O. And we have 2 hydrogens. So one here. I'm going to put one here. The first thing you should do is find out how many valence electrons these have. Oxygen has 6, hydrogen has 1. Let me make this a little bigger. Hydrogen has 1. Now, we want them to get their full valence shot. Now, for hydrogen, that means 2, because helium is the closest noble gas. And so that means it just needs 2 in its outer shell in order to form a happy electron atom. And oxygen has 6, which means it just needs 2 to reach its octet, which is 8. Okay? Meaning we have several spots open here. So if we need to get a full outer shell, hydrogen needs 1 right here. Right? Oxygen needs 1 right here and right here. Great. So what we can do is share electrons here. 1 right here and 1 right here. So that's going to be a bond. When you move them around, and I will be moving them around, I'm going to change them up. So oxygen is going to be my central atom. Oxygen right here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to do purple for the one that we're sharing between this hydrogen. And I'm going to do green for the other hydrogen. You can also draw them as lines. So we can have oxygen. That's a weird line. Okay. Here we go. There you go. So you can have oxygen with 2 lines to hydrogen, and both of these are still correct. Okay? It's pretty simple. So here we see that we have 2 single covalent bonds between oxygen and hydrogen. Remember that another name for a single covalent bond, which can be shortened to single bond, it can also be called a sigma bond, represented by the Greek letter sigma. So you might have instances where you share more than one pair. Usually, the atoms that share more than one pair or that form multiple bonds with other nonmetals are carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and sulfur. Usually when you look at the number of valence electrons that you need, that's usually what tells you the number of covalent bonds that you need. Now when we're talking about sigma, we have a single covalent bond, right? But in the cases of multiple bonds, you can have pi bonds. So a multiple covalent bond consists of one sigma and one pi. Sigma is denoted by this Greek letter, sigma, and pi is denoted by this familiar thing, okay? This familiar symbol. So this happens when parallel orbitals overlap and share electrons, right? Okay, good. So in double bonds, right here, we have single, double, and triple covalent bonds that you might find in a molecule. A single bond will have just one sigma. A double bond will have a sigma bond and one pi bond. And a triple bond will have a sigma bond and 2 pi bonds. That's what you'll find when you see parallel orbitals overlapping and sharing electrons. Okay?